This is an absolutely superb Tunisian crochet stitch, and this is the Alpine stitch, sometimes also referred to as the field stitch. It has a wonderful three-dimensional, almost cabled texture. This stitch is easy to do and it works up quickly. It is a combination of Tunisian simple stitches and Tunisian double crochet, or if you're a Brit, treble crochet. I shall use the US terminology of double crochet. It requires an equal number of stitches, and the first row will always be a row of Tunisian simple stitch. I'm going to make a swatch 10 stitches wide, so I am chaining 10 and I am creating a Tunisian foundation row. And to save time, here is a video of how to do the Tunisian crochet foundation row. The link is above. The first forward pass will be a row of Tunisian crochet simple stitch. The loop on the hook is the first stitch, so for the second stitch push the crochet hook under the front of the next vertical bar, that's the second vertical bar in, yarn over and pull up a loop. Do the same for the third vertical bar, push the hook under the bar, yarn over and pull up a loop, and keep going until you reach the end of the row. The last stitch is by inserting the hook in the marked space with the two vertical bars on the left side and one behind it, yarn over and pull up a loop. Now remove the stitch marker, chain one, and as always I like to mark the space for the end of the next forward pass, just to keep the edge straight and neat. So just do a normal Tunisian crochet return pass until there is one loop left on the hook. The Tunisian double crochet is worked into the second vertical bar from the end on the row beneath the row we have just created. So yarn over, insert the hook behind the second vertical bar under the row that we have just created, yarn over and pull up a loop, and now yarn over again and pull through two loops. So that is the first double crochet. Now for a Tunisian simple stitch, insert the hook behind the third vertical bar, yarn over and pull up a loop. And now for another Tunisian double crochet, yarn over, insert the hook behind the fourth stitch on the row underneath, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again and pull through two loops. So we have now got 4 loops on the hook. So the fifth stitch is a Tunisian simple stitch. The sixth stitch is a Tunisian double crochet, yarn over, insert the hook behind the vertical bar of the row below the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again and pull through two loops. Now for a simple stitch, insert the hook behind the next vertical bar of the top row, yarn over and pull up a loop. Now for a double crochet, yarn over, insert the hook behind the vertical bar of the next stitch on the row and underneath, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again and pull through two loops. And the next stitch is a simple stitch, insert the hook under the vertical bar on the top row of the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and the final stitch and 10th stitch on this row is into the marked space. So push the hook into the marked space. There'll be 2 strands on the left and 1 strand on the right of this space, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now chain 1 As always, I'm going to mark the space with the 2 strands on the left and 1 strand on the right. Just do a normal Tunisian return pass. The next forward pass will be the opposite of the previous forward pass, so the stitch that or the second stitch will be a Tunisian simple stitch because the underlying stitch is a Tunisian double crochet, and so the third stitch above the simple stitch is a Tunisian double crochet into the next stitch on the row below. The fourth stitch is a Tunisian simple stitch on the next stitch on the top row. Now for a Tunisian double crochet on the next stitch on the row below, and so on until you reach the end of the row. And just keep going, making sure that each forward pass is opposite to the one underneath, with Tunisian double crochets above simple stitches and simple stitches above Tunisian double crochets. My top tip for this alpine stitch is to keep the tension fairly loose, otherwise the fabric will start to curl, particularly when doing the double crochets. So here are 2 rows of Tunisian alpine stitch, and you can see the pattern emerging very nicely. And keep going until the fabric is of the required size. And here it is, a swatch of the beautiful Tunisian alpine stitch, superb for beanies, scarves, shawls, blankets, etc.